Hi, my name is Sarah O'Hearn, and I'm joined by my colleague, John Tamrat. We work at a nonprofit called MoneyThink, and we're here today to talk to you about DecidED, a free tool for students to evaluate their college affordability. We built DecidED so that students could compare college costs and financial aid side by side and enroll in a college that wouldn't put them in a ton of debt.
DecidED is a great resource for aspiring college students who want to explore, compare, and understand their college options with affordability in mind. Students and families can compare college costs side by side with graduation rates, campus environment, and other fit factors to support an informed enrollment decision. Today, we want to talk to you about an important step on the path to college. Figuring out how much you have to pay, whether you can afford it, based on your financial aid offers. Understanding college financial aid options can be complex and challenging, not just for students and families, but also for educators supporting students. By now, you have most likely started hearing back from colleges and receiving acceptance letters, which is exciting and something to be proud of. Once you have your acceptance letter, the next important document to look out for are your financial aid package letters. These letters may be sent by email, US Post, or can be retrieved on the college portal. It is very important to look at the financial aid packages for all the schools you've been accepted to so that you can evaluate whether a school will be affordable or not. Enrolling in an affordable college and staying out of unreasonable student debt is a key way that students are ensured to succeed in their academic goals. Before we show you how to use DecidED to compare your offers, let's do a quick review of financial aid letters, why they can be confusing, and how DecidED can help simplify this step for you.
Financial aid packages should include an explanation of how much money you will need to attend that college. But the information is not always that easy to interpret or understand, and can even encourage students to take on more loans than they can afford. At MoneyThink, we don't believe this is fair. We want to make sure students know exactly how much free money you are receiving in order to cover your college costs. Free money comes from things like grants or scholarships that you don't need to pay back. These grants or scholarships usually come from the federal government, the state, the college itself, or other institutions who are offering scholarships to students. The other types of financial aid students receive are loans that you will eventually have to pay back, or money you earn by getting an on-campus job. MoneyThink does not consider that to be free money, so we don't include it when we calculate how affordable a college might be. You can use loans and part-time jobs to make up the difference, but we think you have to be careful how much you commit to. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's take a look at a sample financial aid letter to show you how they can be confusing. In this offer letter, you can see the direct costs, which are costs paid directly to the college, like tuition and fees, are $40,904. The indirect costs, things like room and board, personal expenses, transportation, and books, add up to $23,633. This means the total cost to attend will be $64,537. However, that amount is never specified as a cost, only as total aid awarded. A student would have to get out their calculator to determine the total cost. Secondly, they're including loans in the total aid awarded, and the bulk of those loans, over $30,000, are Parent Plus loans. We generally discourage students and families from taking on these types of loans because they are not guaranteed and the interest begins to accrue the day you start college. This places a huge financial burden on the student and their family. Federal subsidized loans, on the other hand, don't accrue interest until after the student finishes college. The rates are lower and they have more favorable terms that benefit students. The total free money from grants and scholarships is $28,725, which leaves a significant gap of over $35,000 to cover that year of attendance. Finally, the estimated amount due is misleading, as a student will have other expenses related to housing and books. The only way to know this is if you read the fine print. Otherwise, students and families might assume that they only need to come up with $6,679 to start college, when in reality, the amount of money needed is more than $35,000. As you can see, letters like this can be incredibly confusing and often lead to students selecting colleges that they think they can afford, but actually require taking on crippling debt.
This is where DecidED comes in. We can translate each letter and then show you the result side by side, so you can see exactly how much free money you are receiving in financial aid and what other funds you need to attend that college. We'll even tell you if we think it's affordable or not. DecidED is a great resource to simplify the financial aid letters from a complicated legal document to something that clearly shows what free money you are being offered and what amounts remain. If that package has loans or work study, we do not include those amounts when calculating the gap you need to cover.
We wanted to make it as easy as possible for students to get all of their most important information about college in one place. DecidED breaks down all the costs and all of the financial aid you've received from that college. DecidED will also color code the pie chart based on how affordable we think the college is. If the remaining amount needed for tuition fees and housing and meals is under $7,000, we consider that school affordable, even if you're living off campus, and the pie chart will be green. We believe that a student can cover a $7,000 gap by accessing up to $5,500 in federal and subsidized and unsubsidized loans, and working part-time less than 10 hours a week. We don't recommend taking out more than $5,500 in loans, and we also don't recommend working more than 10 to 15 hours a week during the school year. If the gap to cover basic costs is between $7,000 and $11,000, we define that as somewhat affordable, and the pie chart will be orange. If a student gets a somewhat affordable rating, that means they will need to break one of the recommendations by either taking out more loans or taking on more work. Any gap of $11,000 or more is defined as unaffordable, and the pie chart will be red. If a student gets an unaffordable rating, it means they would need to break both of our suggested guidances to pay for college, and they could find themselves in a financially vulnerable situation.
DecidED is free, and we will never sell any of the information you put into your account. To get started, you can head to decided.org, and from there, click the sign up button. We don't require any additional information from you other than your email, but we do customize costs and other information based on your zip code and ethnicity if you choose to share that. If you provide your zip code, DecidED will be able to personalize college costs with in-state or out-of-state tuition. If you select your ethnicity, we can showcase the student outcomes at that college around the 4-year graduation rate, the campus diversity percentages for those selected ethnicities.
This is what you see when you first log in as a student to DecidED. You get to see, first of all, you're on your student path page, and from there, you can see your progress on your road to college. So this student account, which I'm using, has gotten pretty far along. They've already uploaded letters. But for many of you, when you first enter the tool today, you'll probably be at this stage interested. And all you have to do is add schools, and you can search, I know that somebody said they were going to Berkeley. I know that somebody said they were going to Cal Poly. You just can search by name, or you can search by location. You can say, well, I'm in California, and you can filter from there. You can filter by the type of school, like a public college and a 4-year, and you can see some more narrowed results and then add them to your list. And you can see up here, I have this whole list of schools that I've already added. So the other thing that you see on your student path page is we do link to the guides from there. So if we know that there's a topic like loans that a lot of people have questions about, we try to make it really easy for you to find that information. And you can see a summary of the schools that I've been looking at on this page, but really what I want to do is look at a school in detail. So I'm going to look at one that I haven't uploaded a letter yet. I've just applied. So you can update the status of your colleges as they progress, and that's what will change your progress on this path. But for this school, at this point, I thought I had just applied. Then I got an acceptance letter, so I'm accepted, which is exciting. But you can see right now, I've got the full cost of attendance in here. It's including my in-state tuition and my on-campus housing. Now, the reason it knows that I'm paying in-state tuition is because I told DecidED my zip code. It's the only reason we ask you to tell the zip code, so that we can differentiate between in-state versus out-of-state costs. And you can also see here, this student has identified as Hispanic, and that means that we can tell the student the graduation rate for that college that is specific to their ethnicity that they identify as. We also tell them future earning potential for this college, and we talk about the diversity of the campus itself. What does that campus look like? How am I going to feel on that campus? And then we give you an idea. It's a campus that's in a city. It's a pretty large campus. And here, because this student lives in San Francisco, it's not that far away. We show that on the map. But I am going to upload a letter for this college so you can see what that looks like. So basically, when you go to upload a letter, and then as I said, you might have downloaded a PDF, or you might have taken a screenshot from your college portal. And either way, you just can drag that right over here and click done. And then you tell us where you're planning on living, because that impacts your costs. This student's going to be living on campus. So what's happening now is that DecidED is looking at the letter and it's translating it for you. So upload takes a few minutes, or a few seconds really. And then what we do is we show you a breakdown right here, and we show you, okay, so what we saw in this letter is that this school is giving you a $10,000 scholarship. You got $6,895 in federal Pell Grants. There's another institutional grant there for $900, and you also got a state grant for $13,000. Now, if this looks not right, you can actually message us and you can say, you know, the costs don't seem right, or there's a missing award here. And you can also re-upload the letter if you think there's something wrong with it. Otherwise, you can just say, great, let's take a look. And from here, you can see, oh, wow. Okay, so this is an example of what John was talking about. This is a school that DecidED does not necessarily think is super affordable. And the reason why is because the amount that you need to pay to the college is over $7,000. And what we think is that's a lot of part-time work in addition to loans. One thing that can happen, let's go to edit this financial aid. First of all, now I can see the letter. This letter has, it has the Pell Grant, and it has the institutional grant. It has the scholarships. It does have a federal loan option, and it does have a work study option, but it's not included in the DecidED takeaways because, like we said, not free money. However, let's say you got a scholarship from Richmond Promise and you want to incorporate that into this financial aid result because you're like, actually, I have more financial aid than what's in this letter. You can add another source of financial aid and you can say, okay, I got a scholarship. It's from Richmond Promise. So I'm just going to say $2,500. And I can say, great. I could say, oh, actually, it's not 2,500. It's, let's say it's 3,500. Oops. I can edit it right there and I can save. And once I save, what you'll see is now the college is affordable because the college bill has gone down. It's below $7,000. So that can happen. A lot of students, all of their financial aid will just be in the letter. But if there is a case where you have an outside scholarship that you've been awarded, you can add it right here. And that will help update the costs and the affordability. And again, we break it down for you, why we think it's affordable and what we think it's going to take for you to make up this amount. And we actually make up the full amount, which includes your life budget. The life budget is estimated. We don't actually know how much all of your textbooks are going to cost or how much you're going to spend on transportation. You may be just taking BART or Caltrain, or you may be actually driving a car or, flying up to Seattle. We don't know, but we do a little estimate of that for you. And we do an estimate of what we think personal expenses look like. Personal expenses are things like going out for pizza with your friends, going to a party, buying somebody a birthday gift, just all the regular stuff that comes up that are sort of life expenses. So the other great thing is I've looked at this college in detail. I have a pretty good idea of how much money I need to come up with. Now I want to compare it. I want to look at what some of the other schools I was interested in have come out to and how affordable are they. And you can do this by comparing them side by side. When I did this, I said that UC Irvine was my favorite. Maybe Berkeley's my favorite now. I can change that. You can also drag and drop the order so that if you want to see things in a different light, you can just compare them all side by side. And then the fit factors that John was talking about, how you want to look at this holistically. So for instance, if we're looking at these two colleges, the graduation rates are pretty similar, but this college, which is actually more affordable, I don't owe any money for it, but look how low that graduation rate is. So there's a trade-off, right? If I chose this college because it's less money, I might have a lower chance of graduating for whatever reason. But if I chose this college where it is going to cost me a little bit more money and I am going to have to figure out how to pay for that, we still, as DecidED, we think it's affordable because it's less than that 7,000. And we think you have a higher potential there of graduating. So it's all depends on your personal preferences. It may be a lot of students we talk to really want to know what the campus is like and what is the diversity of the campus, what is the population of the campus. A lot of students want to know how big is the campus? Am I going to feel comfortable there? People coming from big cities want to be in big cities. Sometimes they don't want to be in big cities. It just depends. And I do want to highlight that you can do this same process for two-year colleges. We don't only focus on the four-year college. We do offer the same information for the two-year colleges. So this is an example where, in my case, on the two-year colleges, I've only added one school, but let's add another one. I'm going to look up City College. And now I have two colleges that I can compare side by side for the two-year programs as well. We also have links to guides for specific topics you might be interested in, like how much is too much in a loan, or how do I look into getting more scholarships?
Yes, quick question. What if I am working with Richmond Promise or another advisor who is also on DecidED? How can I
Right.
get connected with them?
Good point. Okay, so this is your account profile, and I was talking about before how you can add the zip code and ethnicity if you want to get more specific information. The other thing you can do is you can join an organization. So there are two ways that a student can join an organization. The first way is that you receive an email invitation from your advisor to join their organization. And in that email, there's a link that you can click on, and the link will get you to create your DecidED account, and then it will confirm that you're joining that organization. If you don't see the email and you still would like to join an organization, the other way to do it is by adding the organization's code in your profile menu. So you open your profile menu from the top right corner, and then you scroll to the bottom of that menu and you see organization info, and there's a button that says join an organization. When you click that button, a new window appears and you can enter the 6-digit code that your advisor will share with you. And that's how you can agree to join their organization. Yeah, and so you can always navigate here to your path, here to compare, here to search and add schools. It's all pretty straightforward. And then, like I said, you can differentiate between the 4-year and the 2-year.
I was at school when I opened it. I think it was during lunch, and I opened it, and it was like the list of all my schools and how affordable it was gonna be, and I was like, oh my goodness, like it's actually affordable. And then I sent my mom a screenshot and I was like, look, I can make it